Hi everyone, I'm Sid Part 2. Joining me today is R64 Bear. And R64 Bear, what are we here to do today?
Same thing we do every day. No, wait, sorry. We're talking about Flash today. Come here.
Indeed. So for those that don't know, and I guess if you're a comic fan, and I don't know why you're watching this show if you don't know. Regardless, for those that don't know, CW has started its newest superhero series, spinning out of their Arrow series. The DC Comics superhero universe is expanding on television, and this series is Flash, starring our lovely hero, the Flash, Barry Allen. Um, so I guess first of all, I should say this: the only reason I like Arrow is because I heard that this was happening. I was like, all right, let's see how the universe looks. And I was like, damn, this is actually really fucking good. And so I started watching the Flash. And I was like, I just wanted to see it. And I started watching Arrow, and now the Flash is going. I'm really excited because it's been a long time in TV since we've had two series that take place in the same universe running at the same time like that.
Especially with how early both the series, like Arrow, it's only been on for like this will be its third season starting tomorrow, so
Yeah.
fairly early on for the show to actually already have a spinoff. So that's
Yeah, it's really
saying
cool.
something.
I'm really excited about that, and I mean, I don't know why no one's done it with comic book characters before. It seems fairly fucking obvious. I think comic characters probably work better on TV than film.
If any, yeah, I think, and a little bit also with I think more than comics to a certain degree. I think you get a lot more each week instead of small.
True, true. You can do a season arc to replace a story arc, and you can do a good 40-minute episode week to week. With a lot of great character exploration. So I think TV is a really good direction. Not that that gives DC an excuse for not making more fucking movies. I'm looking at you, Jeff Johns, or whoever. I don't know.
Well, I guess they also announced a month ago that they're actually planning on doing two DC movies. So
yeah, they announce everything. Is the problem?
Yeah, there's no any actual like release or anything like that. So
yeah, and everyone, if all goes well, this should be the last video on my shitty webcam. I bought an HD webcam, and hopefully that'll be a lot better. But right now we're having to use the kind of like one. I mean, this is HD, but I don't believe it because it just doesn't work. And I'm sorry that we're yellow. I'm wearing white, so this is your white balance, and that should tell you how off everything else is. And I like that, like my hat's just kind of. let me check to see how well this light works if I turn it off, or how well the lighting changes. No, that won't work at all.
that was scary dark.
Oh well. Like I said, guys, bear with us through this episode, and next one the quality will improve dramatically. In any case, so let's go ahead and start getting talking about the episode. Or did you have anything else you wanted to say about like general thoughts just about them doing the series?
Well, how long has it been since they announced it? It's already been over a year. It feels like yesterday they announced they were going to do a Flash show. So, and it was episode like 9 or 10 when they had Barry come on first time with Arrow, and
yeah, it was the mid-season finale. Those two episodes. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see where this goes. And that should hint about how I felt about the pilot. I adored this. This was awesome.
It was. The tone was so much different than Arrow.
Little more jokey, yeah. But at the same time, it was just really cool. I mean, it's the same universe as Arrow. It doesn't feel that dramatically different. It just feels like a better city than Starling is.
Which is, I think, is going to be cool too. Like when we might do, if we ever do get like maybe a Justice League TV show with Flash and Arrow, we can throw those two tones together, and I think how well they play off each other.
That'd be really cool. I don't necessarily want them to do like a show for each character. I don't need a Batman show and a one. I'd like. I'll take anything I can get with Wonder Woman, even if it's another TV show. But I don't necessarily need a show for each character in the Justice League. But it'd be really cool to just see them like pop up in each episode, like Smallville was starting to do in their later seasons, except good. It'd be cool to see them pop up in each episode and then get to go into it from there. That'd be really awesome.
I also enjoyed how they explained how we're going to get more superpowers in our, what are they, metahumans?
Yeah, metahumans. They always got to come up with something.
Right. I thought it was cool because now we're going to get a little more, we don't have to come up with a backstory every time we get someone with superpowers in the series. So that's going to be a little more...
Yeah, like, that does reach a danger, Smallville style though, of every week it's some person that's been affected by kryptonite, which apparently does fucking everything. This is a significantly better explanation because they say it's a dimensional barrier that broke down and exposed everyone to forces that are completely theoretical, so we don't even know what they're capable of. Kryptonite was just whatever the fuck we need it to do this week, which is why I stopped watching Smallville after 3 seasons. But yeah, I agree. It's a pretty good gimmick to get the show going.
Mm-hmm.
See, actually, I was actually surprised by that to a certain extent because in Arrow, and I think they maybe changed the pitch or the direction of the show a little bit mid-production, maybe. In Arrow, when he's introduced, Barry's like going around the country every chance he gets to investigate these like weird crime things that appear to have a metahuman involved or something like that. And I figured that's what the series would be, is he'd be going around the country or world or whatever as the Flash trying to solve these crimes, right? And I mean, certainly they could still do that, but now it looks like it's going to be much more localized.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe they changed the pitch or something, but either way, it's so cool.
It also could be the fact, too, that, he's always been trying to find, more of the supernatural with the superhuman abilities. And he's reverse... spoilers, by the way, if...
Yeah. That's why we're going to do videos near the bookcase. Flash Rebirth here. They're taking a lot of the cues from this straight out of this book. And that's fantastic. I'm happy about that. I really like this book. That's why I don't mind that they're choosing Barry Allen. And like I read a tweet from Manos today. He's like, I would watch a Flash show, but not if it were. I'd watch a Wally West show, but not a Barry Allen show. Fuck Barry Allen. I'm like, oh, come on. He's Barry Allen. Like, he's the first one. Just let him have that, and I'm sure we can get Wally West introduced. Why not? Just go look at the panels. I'm just showing it for you.
Okay.
Go ahead and look at the panels. Everyone that's got Flash Rebirth, let me just look at the page real quick.
Okay.
There are no page numbers.
Yeah, I was reading...
Damn you, Jeff Johns.
I was reading this magazine. It was a Comic-Con magazine. They released... they had covers of Flash, Arrow, Gotham, and whatnot. And one of the things they talked about was how much heavily this first season is going to be based off of that comic, actually, right there.
Yeah, Flash Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just look at that. That's exactly what we saw in the episode.
Yeah.
Like almost scene for scene there. And that's great. I like when stuff pulls directly from the comics, and hopefully it'll be able to improve it, because it's kind of muddled down in continuity. It does a good job with the continuity in the comics, but if you don't have to muddle it down, it'll be interesting to see them retell the story without those chains. That being said, to skip right to the end, we got a major fucking reveal right at the gate.
Yeah, and I was I was kind of surprised, but kind of not, because I kind of called it, but
like it was a joke. Though.
Yeah, I wasn't serious. I'm like, the guy in the wheelchair is the second fastest man on Earth.
Yeah, the guy in the wheelchair is Reverse Flash. He's like, yeah, probably not. And then he's totally fucking the guy in the wheelchair is fucking Reverse Flash. For those that are aware of the comics, and I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to be able to talk about this much without referencing the comic book. I mean, I'm not expecting a bunch of twists and turns this season. It's not going to be like Arrow, where they had to come up with a completely new pitch and like way to do the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me at least, I don't know if I could say this for everyone. What Steve Amell and the writers of Arrow have done with Green Arrow, the only thing that's slightly close to it is what Robert Jr. did with Tony Stark. Because I've never read a Green Arrow in a comic book where he's anything like that. And that's why I've never really cared for Green Arrow. I mean, he's in all the Green Lantern books, and that's cool and all, but I don't care. I don't like him in the comics that much. There's nothing wrong with him. I just don't give a fuck. And that's why I like Arrow so much, is it's a very complex and interesting character. It's some great twists and turns, and that's awesome. That being said, maybe they're pulling some of those twists and turns from the comics. I don't know, but it's still enjoyable as a non-comic fan. Here I've read the comic that, like Bobby was saying, the first season's all based off of. And right now I know exactly what happens, and I don't care. I'm still, like, fascinated. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
So what do you think about the like relationships Barry Allen had with like all the
The thing with Iris,
I think it was
Isis.
She's
gonna have to
Barry
change.
Allen and Isis, you know.
Yeah, she's gonna have to change her name because we're gonna end up offending people. Um, that's a really stupid joke. I'm
Isis offensive?
sorry. Yeah. I actually was listening to a story today on NPR where they were talking about companies with the name ISIS in it are having to change their name now because of all the shit that's going down. Like, you know who I feel bad for? 10 years ago, the guy, you know, that had Al Qaeda grocery. You know, I feel bad for him. Anyway, sorry, stupid joke. No, but like, I like the dynamic that they're having with Iris. How about you, the black girl?
I'm liking it so far. I missed a little bit at the beginning. I missed like the first like 10 minutes.
10, 20 minutes.
10, 20 minutes. But so far, I like how, obviously, for those who don't know the comics, apparently that's his wife.
Yep.
In the comics, so that'd be interesting. It's also interesting that's his foster sister.
Something like that, it appears. So that's completely new as far as I can tell, which that's cool. It's a different idea. But yeah, I like the dynamic they're having with them. I hope it doesn't go on for too long. We saw in the preview, spoilers for next week if you're the person that like turns off the preview. We saw in the preview that Felicity was in town and he kissed her.
I think that might have been a season preview though.
Maybe could be.
We don't know, but
regardless, that does look like it'll be kind of put on the back burner and eventually come back. I just hope it's not lingered on for freaking ever is the only thing.
Yeah. And also, what was one thing I loved about Arrow was with Laurel.
Yeah.
You knew Laurel and Oliver are eventually going to get together, but the way they're playing it with you know, kind of watching it, knowing that they're going to end up together.
Yeah.
That are her sister. I think they make it still watchable, but not come off kind of.
Actually, you know what? They showed this is interesting because they were showing those clips from Arrow, like through the season, and you see Oliver kiss Felicity in that.
Huh. Illuminati.
No, triangle, love triangle.
Oh.
That's a
diamond.
love diamond.
That's
You're bad at shapes. You failed geometry class, didn't you, in high school?
I don't think I even took it.
Anyway, no. So I mean, that'll be an interesting dynamic. I'm not I'm not huge into like the love relationships and everything, but I'll watch it. You know, it's going to be interesting to look into. So we'll see how it goes.
His surrogate father.
Yeah.
Definitely enjoyed that. I think of all the relationships he had with anyone on the show that I watched on the first episode. Definitely enjoyed their dynamic.
I really liked the way they take it at the end because, you know, when the barn breaks up and all that stuff happens, I'm like, okay, so he's going to see this happen, so he'll believe Barry, but he still won't know that Barry is the Flash. And then it's like, as to why Barry lost the mask to be able to have him figure that out, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
They don't explain it at all, but okay. It's like you can't tell me, oh well, you know, the wind forces or whatever ripped it off. The whole point is that's not supposed to happen. That's why he has the costume. Why not just wait till next week to give him the costume and just have that happen? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
with him finding out that who Flash is, being Barry Allen, having his foster dad.
Yeah.
It does make it a little different from where we have Arrow, where we have Lance, Detective Lance, where still doesn't know, and they build off, you know, kind of butting heads that first season. Builds up a little more different dynamic, and it changes the show up from Arrow.
Yeah, I like that this isn't just going to be a carbon copy of Arrow. And like, to get into this, Oliver Queen gives us that, you know? Like, he tells us, you can be something I can't. And that's really interesting. Like, Oliver Queen is a vigilante. I mean, you know, they haven't... It's funny that Flash is going to get the name drop before Green is going to get the name drop. It seems, at least. But, like, yeah, I mean, he's the vigilante or the Hood in the first season. And
Malcolm Merlin calls him Green Arrow, but Oliver's like, Lame.
Little bits, guys, little bits. No, so I mean, yeah, it's like he's still like a very non-heroic character kind of thing.
And like he actually, well, until like the season finale last season, which was finally at that point where he finally is a hero. So then we just now got that. We don't even know what hero Oliver Queen is yet.
Yeah, what kind of guy he is, but he's definitely not going to be like that. I hate to go for this, but Oliver Queen or Green Arrow's like Batman, and right now Flash is like Superman. Well, we have one hero that's like lurking in the darkness and really doing kind of the not nice things, and then we have one that's going to be this like public symbol. At least it appears that way.
Yeah.
So far, like the camera, like what we got season preview wise, looks like they're gonna have maybe a season where Barry Allen isn't like, or where the Flash isn't fully known about and recognized to exist. Or maybe like half a season. I'm sure they're going to get into it eventually because, I mean, that's just Flash, Everyone in Central City knows and loves Flash. They call him, like, they talk to him like they're neighbors and stuff. So that should be interesting to get into.
And, like, one thing I want to point out, too, since we're talking about, like, kind of like Arrow and Flash comparisons, there's so many other DC comic book shows right now, and Flash, Arrow are the only ones I know of that have same continuity. There's actually, I believe, the Teen Titans is actually getting their own TV show on TNT.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which is also owned by Warner Brothers. So if they wanted to, possibly, they actually could add Teen Titans in the same universe. Don't know if they would need to, but the fact that you got...
If you do that, then you have to have Batman in this universe.
Exactly, it makes it a little more...
established.
And like the ideal thing, what I think would be really cool for this series, you get TV show for Arrow for a little more grounded series. You get Flash for a little more
crazy superhero stuff,
sci-fi, yeah. And then the way DC is talking about doing movies, I think it would be cool if, like, DC's movie line, that's not all the same continuity. You have a certain series of continuity, and then you also have, well, maybe let's do a Flash and Green Arrow movie.
That'd be cool.
With the continuity of the TV shows.
Speaking of the like difference in tone, so like here was my thinking about a Flash series and why I actually wanted to watch Arrow to like understand what they're doing. So Bobby, you want to make a you're a big TV executive. You got to on everything, so you're a big TV guy. You got all the power, and you get a secretary that gives you blowjobs and all that stuff. You want to make a superhero series that's really dark and gritty and like really crime driven because the Batman movies like that are super popular. But you don't want to use Batman because you don't want people comparing you to Chris Nolan too much, right? So who do you choose? What out of the DC superheroes, which one comes to mind?
Redhead Bud. But then Green Arrow.
Yeah, so Green Arrow, right? Green Arrow makes perfect sense. Completely independent hero, all this stuff. Now you want to spin something out of this gritty, fairly realistic universe you've created. Where do you go? Oh, well, the Flash, of course. The guy who runs at the speed of light. Main villain is not only a gorilla, not only does the gorilla talk, but the gorilla also has super psychic powers and comes from a city of other talking gorillas.
Gorilla Garage, a Flash villain?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's like one of his main villains.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to process how we can actually possibly do that on a TV show.
Right? Well, Planet of the Apes was awesome, so...
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Just get Andy Serkis, and it'll be amazing. No, I mean, it's just such a weird thing to go from, like, this super serious, like, grounded universe...
Where you got...
And then put in Flash, and I mean, they started out with a good villain. Weather Wizard's very serious, very believable. I cannot wait till they get to the Trickster.
Oh, he looks... Fun fact, the guys that don't know, if you guys ever watched the original Flash TV show, guess who played the Trickster in...
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, that's just... That's awesome.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I thought Bobby mentioned this, and I thought it was awesome. Go ahead.
So Barry Allen's dad, what was his name? No, Barry Allen's dad actually was played in this episode by the actual actor that played Flash in the
80s,
in the early 90s when the 90s TV show. So I thought that was pretty cool. Nice little shout back to the original show.
Well, here's what I found funny. Have you ever watched much of the 90s TV show?
When it was on TV, so I don't remember much.
Dude, it looks... All right, so you look at an episode of Arrow, and if you if you cut it right, you could believe that this is like leftover footage from a Batman movie.
Yeah.
You cut Green Arrow out of it and just like did some of the way people talk and stuff. It's like leftover, not fully finished footage from one of the Nolan Batman movies. You'd do the exact same thing with the Flash show from the 90s and one of the Burton movies. I swear to God. DC has not evolved much as far as their tactics for putting things on film. So I'm glad that we're getting a very different style of universe here. That'll be fun. Or style of at least cityscape and society here. That'll be cool.
I'm definitely excited to see how much time travel is going to be effective in this series.
It's in the very first episode.
Exactly, but I wonder how much they're going to play through that. Like, how much are they going to play off of that throughout? Is it going to be like, kind of here and there because it's part of his origin story, or are we actually going to have this throughout the whole show?
A lot of like classic Flash stuff, as far as I can remember. I haven't read too much Silver Age Flash or anything like that, so forgive me. But a lot of classic Flash stories just end up with him accidentally running too fast and ending up either in the future or the past. So that'll be really cool.
See, that's one nice thing about them having Flashes. If they ever want to reboot this, like the whole universe, there they go. They got the guy who does it every time. So
no, but speaking of that, it's interesting to see the way they're doing Professor Zoom / Reverse Flash, because at least with the way John sets him up in Flash Rebirth here, is he hates Barry Allen with a burning passion, but he can never kill him because of a time paradox where his superpowers, which are the powers of the Reverse Flash, his superpowers are dependent on the fact that Barry Allen exists. So there's like
so he needs Barry Allen to be the Flash.
To be the Reverse Flash.
Oh,
he needs Barry Allen to be the Flash so he can be the Reverse Flash, right?
Which would explain earlier in the episode where they're talking, right? And he's like, "You're not a hero, Barry Allen." Like you can kind of tell, like there's kind of a little bit of resentment there. But at the very end, where he comes out of nowhere, he's like, "Run, now, Barry, run!"
That's what I was actually just going to tell him. Like, so it's really weird to see him saying that, like, he's trying to inspire him to become the hero just so that he can become the Reverse Flash. That's really interesting.
That would, right? They just, it's
like it's like a significantly better version of that really stupid subplot in Batman '89 where Joker killed Bruce Wayne's parents. It's like a really much better version of that, where you have the hero that creates the villain, but the villain that created the hero. That's really clever. So I'm excited to see how that all pans out. And I mean, it's a great reveal. One of the things I like so much about Arrow is that they have some of the best like cliffhanger moments and reveal moments I've ever seen on television. And this, if the first cliffhanger is anything to be expected, even though I know where it's going, the first cliffhanger is any like kind of indication. That's wow.
So that's one thing I'm excited about this season. Is like he knows a lot more about Flash than I do. Flash is one of those characters I vaguely know anything about at all. So I'm pretty excited about this season. Actually, just like for someone who doesn't know too much about the actual character, it actually be unexpected for me.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I don't know a ton about him, but I know, like, I know what I know from John's, and I've read a couple other things of Flash, and yeah, it's just I always liked the Flash more than I've liked the Flash books, I guess, which is I feel it's fairly common.
I think one of the hardest things for me is someone who does read comics. The hard part again in Flash was figuring out which Flash is which.
It is really, really difficult because there are like so many of them now. There's Jay Garrick. There's
who was the first Flash?
Jay Garrick.
Okay.
Barry Allen, Wally West, Bart Allen is like Kid Flash now.
Yeah, and so that's Barry Allen's son or grandson?
Grandson from the future that has traveled back in time to hang out with his grandfather.
Seems legit.
Or maybe it's great grandson. I can't remember. I mean, I guess I'd do it. No, actually, no. I've heard nothing good about either of my great grandfathers, so no.
I'd go back and meet, Batman. I don't know. That'd be my thing, but
there's an episode of Batman Brave and the Bold where Booster Gold's in it, and he's like Batman like ditches him and goes back to the Batcave, and when he gets there, Booster Gold shows up, and he's like, "How'd you know where this place is?" "I'm from the future. It's the theme park."
Oh wow.
I threw up on the roller coaster right there. Fun jokes like that. You know how I know that? Because I'm from the future. That's what we need. We need Booster Gold to show up.
That'd be cool. So this season they actually they listed a amount of number. They listed a couple of people who are playing a couple of villains.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of people from. If you guys are big fans of Prison Break, you're gonna love the season of Flash.
Yeah, I like what was it? Clock King. He was from Prison Break, wasn't he?
Yeah, Robert Nickler.
Yeah.
I always get his last name wrong, but and yeah, I believe episode 3 or 6 or 8, he's gonna be coming up in Flash.
Oh, really? He's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm. So he's gonna be in.
That'd be cool. Captain Logan will be happy.
Was it Professor Cold or what's his name?
Captain Cold.
Captain Cold. Just gotta work on that name. That's just. It sounds like you're like.
Sounds like you sell.
I'm gonna get you, Flash.
No, it sounds like you sell popsicles.
But one of the main characters from Prison Break's also playing him.
Yeah. And who was Jason? What the guy from Supernatural? Did I see him in the preview? Isn't that why you went yes?
No, that was the guy from Prison Break.
Oh, okay.
They look just alike though. Like, just
Yeah,
exactly,
that's
they look
crazy.
like brothers. So.
Oh my god, celebrity lookalikes. That shit's annoying. It's like Zoe Deschanel and Katy Perry and
right.
Goddamn.
Barack Obama and Morgan Freeman.
No.
That was racist.
That was very racist. Anyway.
But anyways, yeah. Then there's the other brother from Prison Break that's also going to be in Flash. I forgot who he's playing though. But yeah, that's kind of cool that they have a lot of guys from that. If any of you guys also watched, what was it? Not the 100. It was Stephen Amell's cousin was on it. It was essentially like X-Men with teenagers.
Tomorrow People.
The Tomorrow People. A lot of people that were working on that show are working on this.
Yeah, but didn't that get canceled?
It did. So that's why I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know. I know creatively who's part of the show is not part of that. So, but a lot of the team.
Oh, you mean the actors or what's?
Not the actors, but the production crew.
Oh no,
so
that doesn't matter at all. The thing that it's not the production crew that kills the story.
One person from that show that is going to be on the show, actor-wise, Stephen Amell's cousin is playing a superhero.
A superhero?
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know the name because I never. It's a big character I never heard of. So, but that potential of actually maybe another superhero to add to the Justice League.
That'd be cool.
That plus be cool to see Stephen Amell and his cousin actually work together.
Don't they look a lot alike though?
They do. Like for cousins,
that's gonna be awkward. Why wouldn't you just have him? Because Arrow does all those flashbacks. Why wouldn't you just have him start playing younger Oliver Queen? Like that seems really obvious to me.
Or you can have him play, Oliver Queen's son that they introduced in season 2.
There's that. Okay. Anyway, back to Flash. So, how'd you like the visual effects for this? Because this is going to be a very visually.
For a pilot, it was really good.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. Because if this is the best that they can do, I'm curious how consistent they can keep that throughout the series.
See, like I was reading an article about Flash, and the one thing they wanted to do is they want to step up the special effects for television. Because television and special effects has always kind of been
about 10 years behind.
Yeah.
Not 10, but maybe like 5 to 6 years behind.
Well, like you got Game of Thrones and you got a couple other shows where the special effects are pretty good, but usually like an average, like it's kind of down there.
Yeah, whatever the movies are doing, they're about 5 years behind, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is a good chance for them to step it up. I can see that.
And for how they did for practical effects for the Arrow, I think it's really good. So let's see if they can do it for visually too for the show. I think. Yeah,
I mean, I guess the biggest problem I had is the tornado toward the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving I guess a little slow. To be fair, I've never seen a fucking tornado. It's moving slower than I think it should have been, and there's not enough going on around it to really sell the effect, which is the problem I had. You see the barn get ripped up, but
that part was good, and then I think right after, once it leaves the barn,
it kind of just stands there. We needed to see some trees flying or shit. Just a cow perhaps.
Okay, no, it wasn't a problem with actual how visually good it looked. It was the actual movements, like you said.
Yes, it was what was going on around it didn't sell it enough. That's the thing too, is it's such a big dramatic moment in the episode, you need to really sell why it's such a big threat. You need to see, you know, a house get ripped up off the ground or something.
So what'd you think of the his tech group?
His support group, his Alfred, and I guess that's just the working theory right now. Just steal from Batman.
Superheroes always have to have a team apparently now. So
I mean, it works. Like the one girl looks so much like the girl from Shield.
Yeah. It's without the British accent.
Yeah.
Well, her character currently isn't on Shield right now. Maybe she jumped to another universe and she's working for Barry Allen. That's why she's sad. She can't see Fitz right now.
The likeliest of all scenarios. You see, the particle accelerator pulled her at me. Yeah. I didn't like the tech guy. He was a little too much for me, but it's all right. We'll give him time to die.
Any predictions for deaths this season?
Hoping for him. Probably Barry's foster dad. Because for a while he could either become like the Jim Gordon in with the police that the superhero has, or he could just do other stuff, and it might be more interesting if he died.
I think it might be a little more awkward too if they.
Because I don't know, does Barry Allen need an in with the police department?
Exactly, he's part of it, so it's like things you make more sense that he needs the in with Star Labs than he would the police department. So
but I mean, he's got a team at Star Labs that knows everything now. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's one of those things that's not necessary from the habit, but
yeah, I don't know. I think you could do some interesting things if you kill a character.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this universe isn't afraid of killing characters, but they're also afraid of keeping them dead.
Unless you're Tommy Merlin.
Yeah, unless you're Tommy Merlin. He's the only one that doesn't get to come back to life. I'm just waiting for Oliver's mom to show up this season.
I'm still pretty sure though we're gonna see Tommy Merlin in a flashback scene with Laurel. Because if you guys remember in season 1 with Arrow, there's actually when Oliver Queen officially finds out that Laurel and Tommy are together, his reaction was, "I already knew." So I'm pretty sure there's some point when he's gonna leave when he leaves the island, he's probably gonna run into Tommy and Laurel, and you're gonna have an episode where he deals with that. So
that's interesting.
There's a lot of callbacks, and that's one thing I love. That's what this show is so much different than Arrow and Flash is. And current time, Flash we're only giving it straight time like that what we currently have.
Are you sure about that, or is that just a guess from the first episode?
Just from the first episode, we'll probably have some time.
Yeah, I imagine we'll get some flashbacks, but Barry Allen's past isn't the interesting.
Flashbacks.
Barry Allen's past isn't the interesting part.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be more interesting than flashbacks if you involve the time travel aspect and he gets to see parts of his childhood in an episode or something. That'd be fascinating. That being said, did not like the actor that played him as a child. You didn't get to see it. Did not care for that actor.
Child actors are kind of hard to come by these days.
Yeah.
Like what they have Gotham, who they have playing Batman's kind of still okay. He's not doing bad for a child actor. I mean, I'm pretty sure people complain about the way they're writing him, but he's not.
All right.
So yeah,
we'll see how it all turns out, I suppose. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up, Bobby?
Let's see, we got Flash. They introduced kind of main premise. We got the side characters. Anything you really didn't like?
Oh, I gotta mention, not didn't like, but I do have to mention this because other people didn't like it. So everyone keeps talking about how the leather suit would be ridiculous to run in and all that shit.
Yeah.
Did you think by showing him in the tracksuit, was it like a little jab at those people? It's like, look, fucking tracksuits look ridiculous. You cannot look cool in a tracksuit.
I was kind of thinking that, after seeing him in the whole spandex thing, I'm kind of happy with what we got for the costume because I think it might have looked a little bit ridiculous, especially in the current continuity they have. But I'm actually okay with the costume. It looked a little silly from the
still images,
but
I think it looks pretty good in motion.
Mm-hmm.
When it's dark, it doesn't look, or when it's dark, you don't notice it as much. but when it's light out, it looked like fairly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say vibrant or anything, but it looked brighter. You know.
And we didn't get much scenes too many scenes too yet with a. We only got like I believe it was like the very end when he started saying, "My name is Barry Allen." When he was running through the streets and whatnot. But...
Oh, you're gonna get used to that. My name's Barry Allen. I'm the fastest man alive. Blah 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 blah. I can't wait. I guarantee you next week it's gonna happen. We're gonna have that intro sequence on every episode, and then tomorrow and the day after every week we're gonna hear, "My name's Oliver Queen. I spent 5 years on a hellish island."
My name's Oliver Queen. I know Barry Allen. It's a Tuesday. Nothing's happening today. Yeah.
Yep. See all the Green Lantern trades down here? Every single issue, every single chapter opens with, "My name's Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Sector 2814, and blah, 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 blah. This is the situation right now." Every single one of them.
Nice. Oh, one
That's
thing.
Jeff Johns for you.
One thing I want to bring up too is this year on Arrow they're gonna have Adam.
Like the Atom?
Yeah, the Atom.
Okay.
So but I don't expect them to actually use the Atom yet in Green Arrow this season.
Oh, they're gonna use
What's his
Ray
name?
Palmer?
Yeah, Ray Palmer.
Awesome.
Do you know who's playing him?
No.
Really?
No.
Superman.
Brandon Routh?
Yeah, Brandon Roth.
Ah.
So.
Okay.
But I think we'll probably get him on Arrow this season, but I don't think we'll get the Atom. I think when we finally do get the Atom, when he's shrinking and whatnot, and I think we'll probably have whenever he comes, if he ever comes on Flash, it would make more sense.
Dude, you could do a really cool crossover with the Flash and the Atom as like a team up episode.
Oh.
That would be so awesome.
Nice.
Because like you couldn't do it with Arrow; it'd be too much for Oliver Queen to go through that shit. But with Barry Allen, that'd be some awesome shit. See, I guess I'm really excited about the shared universe in television thing because like Marvel's getting all this praise for the shared universe, but end of the day, they're not using it to their full potential.
Really not.
Because they're not setting up villains in other movies for the other characters.
Like they have Agents of Shield, and yet Agents of Shield besides Agent Coulson, yeah.
And Nick Fury, I guess, but
that's
but like what I mean is, you know, it's not like in Hulk. I guess for Avengers this happened, and for I guess for Thor we kind of got the setup as Loki for Avengers, but I don't know if I'd really count that much.
When are we going to get a Hulk and Iron Man movie? When are we going to get a?
Not just that, but I mean, like, you know, Iron Man 3 doesn't set up at all the villain, at least yet. At least not obviously. Let me put it that way. I've got to be kind of generous. Iron Man 3 doesn't seem to set up the villain for Avengers 2, right? Or anything to do with what's going on in Winter Soldier. None of that's set up in Iron Man 3. But, like, Flash can set up a villain to show up in Arrow, and Arrow can set up a villain that skips town and shows up in Flash. And I'm really excited to start seeing. Yeah, exactly. And I'm excited to start seeing crossover events like that. That'll be really cool.
And that was something. It's another thing. It's Marvel's too. You know, apparently they're not doing too bad with having the #1 movie like every summer. So
yeah, no, it's not at all. It's just I don't think they're utilizing it correctly.
Part,
and I think TV is a better format for that anyway. Not that I don't like the Marvel shared universe. I mean, I like it as much as the next guy. I'm a little more critical of it.
I do have to say, I'm definitely curious to see once they get off the ground with their Netflix series. Well,
True.
They might have a little advantage because it is going to be on Netflix. I wonder if they're going to utilize the fact that there really isn't going to be a rating system. So how dark are they willing to go for that?
I mean, you watch House of Cards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Orange is the New Black?
Yeah, I mean, like, we get a Netflix series that for Daredevil is dark as fucking House of Cards.
Well, they're going to have, so right now they're filming Daredevil. Then the next one's going to be
Luke Cage.
Samantha Carter.
Oh, okay.
Samantha Carter, which is a Max series character. So I'm a big fan of the Max series. I've only read one, which was Punisher Max with Kingpin, and that was fantastic. If you guys have not read it, I recommend it. So I'm definitely, I hope they have probably a Kingpin like that.
Oh, this isn't Kingpin. This is the Bullseye one.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, cool cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Punisher Max is cool. Check it out.
Then they're doing Iron Fist. Not Iron Fist. Is that his name? I don't know.
Luke Cage.
They're doing Luke Cage, and then then
I heard Luke Cage. That's the only one I really care about.
Like,
and then
The Iron Fist
someone talked
or-
about a Defenders show, which I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, which is gonna be interesting because they're gonna do 4 shows and then they're gonna Avengers show. So I'm like, how's that gonna work timeline wise?
Yeah, for Daredevil, what I'm probably gonna do. You want to come over and marathon that in one day
Yes.
and just do like we do with the movie day kind of things? We'll probably do a Daredevil day kind of thing for that, depending on how many episodes it is. I think it's going to be 13, so that's
13.
That's doable. Like, could you get a day off work, like a Tuesday or Thursday off work? Conceivably.
Probably not.
Well, it's like a year away.
Your way. I'll see then.
No future
guarantees.
plans. Don't worry about it. We'll figure something out.
Yes.
Or if not one day, we'll do it in like 2 days or something.
You always do it on a weekend.
Oh, I work nights.
We're-
We'll see.
We're gonna figure this out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Trust us. Anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, it's overall I'm really liking Flash though. I'm really
Mhm.
excited to see where they go with it and what they do with it. That'll be really cool. All right. So first episode on a 5 scale, I give the Flash pilot 4 out of 5 completely unexplained and superfluous lightning bolts on costumes. Wait, no, I guess I'll go a little higher. I'll go 4.5 out of 5.
Okay. I'm gonna go with
Do you want one? Do you want
4
one?
cripples out of 5.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
5 viewer. Okay then. Anyway, everyone, thank you for listening. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
And I'm Batman.
And we're your geeky gentlemen. And we will be discussing things.
That's not your theme song, but it is now.
No, it's really not.
It's
It's really not. Bye, everyone. Yeah, where's the button?
ah.